It is Tuesday, August 25th, 2026, and this is The High Road. I'm Jules Sterling, and I make sure the C-suite understands what the road is actually saying.
This is Dan Miller.
I'm Buck Reynolds.
And I'm Elena Rossi. We have a great show for you today.
Yesterday, we covered evolution of cargo theft, maritime security in Bab el-Mandeb Strait, and used truck market trends.
Look, we also hit the ATA leadership vacuum. Chris Spear is out, and the industry's feeling a bit like a team without a coach in the fourth quarter.
Well, yesterday was about the immediate crises. Today, we're looking at the long-term structural collapses, starting with the Panama Canal.
The thing is, I thought we were done with the restrictions, but the ACP just pulled the rug out from under us again.
It's sort of a disaster, right? They're walking back the no restriction pledge and capping daily transits at 34 next week.
That's just the start. By mid-September, it drops to 32 vessels. The rainfall in that watershed is 34% below the historical average.
And inflows are down 44%. El Nino is coming back like a bad sequel nobody asked for.
Well, okay. What does that do to the Neo-Panamax locks? Those are the ones carrying the big loads for my retail accounts.
From a risk standpoint, it's a bottleneck. They're restricting it to 9 slots. Carriers are being told to book weeks in advance or risk being stranded.
Oh, here's the play. The average price for an auctioned transit slot just hit $1.1 million. That's a record, folks.
Who has $1 million just to skip the line? That's more than the cargo is worth in some of these boxes.
Well, that's why everyone is flooding toward Laredo. Port Laredo just posted nearly $200 billion in trade for the first half of the year, you know?
I suppose it's the only logical move. Manufacturing is shifting, but it's creating a structural driver shortage at the border that we haven't seen in a decade.
Look, shippers are officially moving from cost optimization to risk resilience. They're abandoning the West Coast for this multimodal, near-shored network.
The thing is, Laredo wasn't built for this kind of volume. You got trucks lined up for miles just to get through a scan.
Right? And speaking of shifting networks, UPS is doubling down. They just confirmed their multi-year investment is over $2 billion now.
$2 billion? They're opening that new hub at Clark International in the Philippines this quarter, and they're building for a future without Amazon volume.
Actually, they're also cutting. They are closing 27 more parcel centers by year-end. That's 51 closures this year alone.
It's sort of a better and bolder strategy, right? Leaner in the U.S., but expanding like crazy in Ontario and Hong Kong.
I guess the days of the local delivery center are numbered, if you can just automate the whole sort at a mega hub.
Look, it's about margin defensibility. They can't afford to keep these old manual centers open when labor costs are doing what they're doing.
I suppose the contraction is a smart play for indemnity. Fewer centers mean tighter security protocols. Theoretically, anyway.
Well, before we get into the red tape, we have a message from the folks who keep the servers humping.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Strategic logistics requires world-class engineering, and this show is powered by the stack developed by Eric Christensen at Neural Network Media. Support the architect behind the code.
Eric's the guy who keeps us from sounding like we're underwater. Good man.
Visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Neural Network Media for a free trial and access to our daily briefing PDF. Now, Dan, let's see the damage on the boards.
Now it's time for Spot Rate Tape, our Tuesday segment where we look at the national benchmarks to see who's winning and who's just burning fuel for fun.
Hopefully not just for fun. Right?
Look, it was a gut check last week. National dry van average settled at $2.25. That's down another 3 cents week over week.
For 7 straight weeks? That's not a lull. That's a trend.
It's a slide. Reefer held steady-ish at 263, but flatbed is where the floor fell out. It tumbled 7 cents to land at 272.
7 cents in a week? I haven't seen a drop that sharp in August since the 2008 crash.
Here's the play on that. Industrial projects are pausing. Shippers are terrified of these new steel duties, and they're just sitting on their hands.
Well, diesel is still at $5.45 a gallon nationally. How are my smaller owner-operators surviving that spread?
Look, they aren't. They're fighting for scraps while shippers aggressively shift to intermodal. Chicago to Philly is seeing a 30% cost spread for rail conversion.
Now, the thing is, I've seen this before. Everyone goes to the rails until the dwell times hit 3 days, and then they all come screaming back to the spot market.
That's exactly what I'm seeing in the Northeast. Dwell times are creeping up, and that overflow is going to hit the road by mid-September.
End of the day, if you aren't locking in your 2027 primary capacity now, you're going to get caught in the holiday crunch. Spot rate tape, that's a wrap.
Well, if the for-hire market is that tight, we have to talk about the hidden capacity. Buck, you were telling me about this $150 billion pool?
Yeah. Private fleet net zero. We got all these Walmart and Sherwin-Williams trucks running empty on 50 to 90% of their return trips.
Look, it's pure waste. But now, these AI matching engines are hooking brokers up with those backhaul lanes at a 25% discount.
From a risk perspective, this is huge. Private fleets have 1/3 fewer accidents than for-hire carriers.
It sort of solves the nuclear verdict fear for my brokers, right? Because these fleets have such high safety standards already.
Now, the thing is, for a fleet owner, that backhaul money is 95% profit. The front haul already paid for the driver's state dinner and the fuel.
Look, it's high-quality capacity at a discount. If you're a broker and you aren't chasing private backhauls, you're just not doing your job in 2026.
But I suppose we should talk about the final stop automation, too. Amazon is moving toward full automation in the delivery stations.
Well, speaking of Amazon, the drone expansion is real. 500 cities by the end of the year. Chicago, Atlanta, Syracuse, they're all in.
Those drones are cruising at 73 miles per hour. They can deliver a 5-pound box in 30 minutes.
It's the MK-30 drone. It has a detect and avoid system that can handle light rain. They're officially bypassing urban congestion by just flying over it.
The regulatory hurdle is gone. They have the FAA Part 135 certification now. The last mile is moving to the low altitude mile.
Right. And while Amazon is in the sky, New York is spending $4 billion to fix the BQE. About time, you know? That road is crumbling.
Here's the deal. They finally realized that if the BQE fails, the entire tri-state region stops. This bridge is the city's main artery.
I suppose it's all part of this shift toward hardened infrastructure. Even the Army is pivoting to autonomous resupply for the last tactical mile.
Right. So, we have to wrap with a reality check on the industry itself. We lost a titan this week. Klaus Michael Cuny passed away at 89.
Oh, man. The end of an era. The guy turned a German forwarding firm into a global powerhouse with 88,000 employees.
Look, he owned over half of K+N, 30% of Hapag-Lloyd, and 20% of Lufthansa. The succession plan is the biggest story in Europe right now.
He was 90 years old almost, and he set up a foundation to hold the stakes. It's designed to prevent hostile takeovers. Stability above all else.
It's sort of a contrast to what's happening in D.C., right? With Chris Spear leaving the ATA so suddenly.
Look, the industry is losing its bulldog at the exact moment the legal shield for brokers is dissolving. It's a mess.
Actually, let's talk about that Montgomery decision. The Supreme Court effectively killed the F4A defense for negligent hiring.
Here's the deal. A $604 million verdict against C.H. Robinson? That's not just a fine. That's a death sentence for a smaller shop.
Well, the jury found the broker negligent for selecting a carrier with safety warning signs, even though they had authority and insurance.
Checking the box isn't enough anymore. You have to do a deep dive on public safety data, SMS scores, the whole bit, to mitigate the risk.
Look, it's a safety exception that just became a gaping hole. If you don't vet your carriers like they're your own employees, you're exposed.
This is what I've been saying for 20 years. You can't just pick the cheapest guy on the board and pray he makes the turn in Wyoming.
Right? It's sort of turning every brokerage into a mini compliance firm, you know? My clients are freaking out about the overhead.
I suppose it's better than a $600 million judgment. Complacency is the precursor to catastrophe, and the courts just proved it.
Look, the bottom line is that the industry is being forced to prioritize decision quality over speed. The chess game just got a lot more expensive.
The thing is, if you do it right, the good carriers, the ones who actually maintain their rigs, are finally going to get the rates they deserve.
Well, one can only hope. It's a lot to process. Between the drought in Panama and the legal drought in D.C., we've got our work cut out for us.
I suppose we'll see if the industry can adapt, or if it just buckles under the pressure.
Look, we'll be here to track it. Whether it's diesel spikes or drone strikes, we've got the tape.
Keep the shiny side up, folks. Don't let the black ice get you, even if it's just metaphorical legal ice.
Well, that's a wrap for today's High Road. We discussed the Mk-30 drones. We also looked at the legacy of CUNY. Keep your relationships solid. Make sure your cargo is secured.
Bye.
Later.
Peace.
Remember, a late truck is an annoyance, but a bad carrier is a liability. See ya.